Build Aid is so proud to be part of this amazing, bustling city of gold. Come behind the scenes with us as we explore what really goes into the development, refurbishment and creation of this incredible city we call home. From past to present, we look at what makes Jersey unique and what the future holds.
Mix 93.8.
This is Build Aid on Mix 93.8. I'm chatting to Deborah Terhune. Deborah's from Growing Up Africa. We're talking about buildings, essentially, and Deborah and her organization's efforts in putting these buildings up. Now, I got completely tongue-twisted before the break on the concept of people make things happen. And also the concept of moving away from just simply giving money, putting it in a hat, and rather putting in some effort. Now, we're in a similar business. We're in publishing, so we're always knocking on doors looking for advertisers and so on. But you must have a really tough job going out there and getting people to believe in what you're doing.
Yes, I think one has to be prepared for more no's than yeses. You have to be prepared for commitments that people renege on, and you've got to have a backstop, or you have to have plan B. It can be very challenging, but I'm inspired by Warren Buffett. He once said that the no's get him closer to the yeses, and that's something that sticks with me.
Yep.
Keeps me going.
You gave me a note that you've met with 500 possible partners and 120 came on board. In my world, that's not a bad hit rate, but it's still a lot of effort. That's 500 meetings. A lot of tenacity is required, and I hope you don't mind, but I know that your nickname is Woody.
Ooh, I don't know how you found that out. But yes, I'm not always receptive to the word tenacity. I believe that when you make a commitment, you have to see it through, and I believe that when you accept responsibility, you have to face that. And so it might take tenacity to do that, yes. But the nickname, it's like a woodpecker. You just keep pecking away until you get an answer, whether it's yes or no.
Yeah, you're up against it, because there are a lot of organizations and people out there with good ideas, some with not so good ideas and without honor and so on. But knowing what you guys do, you would need to be Woody to get through to some of these organizations.
Well, I think, just to expand on that a little bit, we knew that. We started in 2008, and we knew that raising money, just from experience, being involved with philanthropy most of my life, it's a very challenging. They're very challenging efforts made, and I think that one has to face the fact that there is not enough money to go around, but there are enough people out there that are prepared to give of their time, give of their services, and that, I think, is what our mission is about. We don't give up, and there are more people more than what we need out there.
Growing Up Africa is about building buildings with an emphasis on education. Back to being a woodpecker. You have a number of partners that you've already got involved in your projects, and we're going to chat about your education campus in Soweto in a mo. But firstly, you've got 120 partners already, so well done. That's
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thank you. And they are all very generous, and they've all given from the heart, and they've given through our humanitarian mission.
Some of them are big names like Investec, Group 5 and so on. Do you want to mention a couple of others and how they've got involved?
We actually don't have one contractor. We started phasing the project with bulk earthworks first. That was Basil Reed, who offered to do that. Then we spoke to Group 5. Group 5 had capacity to do foundation work to 3-meter column height, barrow construction, and now CPRO out of Pretoria. And the professional team is Bookertman and Partners, NWS, Norval Wenzel Steinberg, SMEC are civil engineers, structural engineers, and all of them work pro bono. When it comes to materials, Metier is on board as our ready-mix supplier. Avenge, Steeldale, it's now Steeldale, excuse me. And we have a consulting architect from New York City, William Rue. We have an amazing team of professionals, all willing and able to.
One of the banners you fly is that you're the largest non-profit collaboration in the building industry in South Africa. Now, if you've got 120 partners, that sort of puts you in a special place.
It does, and it's quite daunting, actually, the responsibility to not only recognize the work that they do with us, but also to be responsible to their brand and to the work that they're doing as well.
So let's chat about the one project that you're busy with at the moment. It's an education campus in Devlin, Soweto. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, the project is about 2,000 square meters in size on a 7,000 square meter site. It will have an auditorium, it will have classrooms, we'll have music facilities for lecture hall, music facilities. It will have a cafeteria, dining hall, administration, ablutions. And it sits on a beautiful, beautiful piece of property in Devlin. The community is able to follow the construction of the project, inspired every day by the progress that we're making there.
It's a 40 million rand project. You have, as we've discussed, you've got 120 partners on board. So you're really doing well with this project. But a question is, earlier in the show I said you respond to community needs. What voice did you follow when it came to music and the auditorium and what's in the center?
Well, I think there's a lot of pent-up creativity with the youth in areas, the RDP areas in particular. Poverty doesn't mean lack of any of those things. And I think that by engaging with the community and being on site every day, I see the changes. I see the changes in their personal lives. The children are growing up in front of me, in front of my eyes. And these are future engineers and architects and professionals that we are. And so we mentor them, we do workshops, and we engage with the community, and especially the neighbors near to our site. But when we talk about identifying needs, we had a donation of 100,000 pavers and 150 bollards, which were not intended for the site itself around the school. So we accepted the donation, made a call to Tiber Construction, and the CEO and executive of Tiber Construction said, if you can wait a few months, we'll come and do the job. So that's the kind of response we're getting from the major players in the industry. They can't take the time to do the whole entire project, but they're on call, which is just as wonderful.
And thanks to everyone for listening, and my special guest, Deborah Terhune. Thanks for coming to chat to us.
And thank you so much for inviting us. See you at Totally Concrete and African Construction Expo.
Absolutely. We do this every Wednesday between 6 and 7. Chat to you next week. Ciao.
But there's something wrong, and I can't hurt you bad. There must be so much love in my heart that it would tear me apart.